Okay, are we back? Yeah, I think we're back, Pras.
Are we live?
We are live.
Okay. So should we just carry on? Is there a new link that we've shared?
It is a new link, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, let's carry on.
Yeah. So
Okay. I see us.
sorry, guys. I think I had some internet connection issues. I'm not really sure what happened, but
Okay. Let's carry on then.
okay.
I think in defenders, so my ranking was Ben White. If you can afford to bench another Arsenal player, otherwise Webster or Dunk, and then third a Crystal Palace defender like Guehi or Anderson. Do you have any other options? What are you looking for your James replacement if you're looking to go off James?
I'm probably gonna roll. I have to take care of the Mitrovic issue. If not, I'm just gonna roll and hopefully Mitrovic plays. If he doesn't, I have to take care of him, and then I can have Zuma come in instead of James. So another more time for me to process information, and hopefully I can carry on to 12 with two transfers.
Nice. And I'm hearing that I've got a 600K rank jump because our cameras are switched, but that's fine.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. So let's do this section as a fresh one, so that people can see this video independently if they want to. So what we've done in the next one is we've built a free hit team, and so I wanted to talk about. There's people who have 6 Man City Arsenal, who've got Neco Williams, who've got James, and they're basically thinking that there's no way, even with hits, I can put out 6 players. So then you've basically got 5 players less than the average. What should they do? Should they free hit or not? So the point firstly is try to make a free hit draft. And what I've done here is basically done a very simple, a 5-minute exercise that we do at Burning Question. This is no rocket science. I've not given it more thought, but I thought that you could have a Pope in goal, simply because they've got a great fixture in 12, and then Trippier, so double up. Mm-hmm. Then I've got in defense, I've got Chilwell, Robertson, and James. Now, obviously, we don't know if any one of them will play, but these are basically the most high upside defenders for Game Week 12 that I could think of. You could also add Perisic, you could also add Sessegnon. Game Week 12 free hit will depend on the lineups for Game Week 11. So it's very hard to sort of predict you will have X player, but I'm trying to sort of just make a case for you will have a couple of big at the back defenders, as well as maybe a Trippier, as well as a Guehi, and you'll only maybe start 3 of them. Midfield is the interesting one, where you'll have Trossard, Maddison, Zaha, maybe a Salah, and an Eze. And then in attack, you can have a Mitrovic, Aubameyang, Wilson. There are many other options. You can go for Darwin Núñez, you can go for a Sterling, you can look at Firmino. So point here is that this would be a sort of team which lets you sort of boomerang out of your Arsenal City assets, put more money into your Game Week 12 free hit. And as people are thinking about whether they should do it or not, they should essentially think about, am I going to make 20, 25 points more than what I would make if I just put out 7, 8 players? And that's basically the math that they need to do. And then in addition to that, they need to also account for, if they were able to put 8 players, if that means that they have to spend double transfers or hits to take out a De Bruyne or a Cancelo or a Martinelli and then have to get them back, then you're also spending those 4 transfers that you could have spent elsewhere instead of a free hit. So that's basically all that I wanted to make a case for. It's really team dependent. So we don't want to sort of give blanket advice that definitely don't free hit. But at the same time, I would caution you that a free hit later down the line in double game week will be worth 25, 30 points. So you have to do the math for your own team to see what can I really gain, and look at expected points data from FF Scout. You can look at it from FPL Review, and you can basically just do the math yourself and then see if a free hit is worth it.
Yeah, agree. And another variable on top of this is the fact that, as you mentioned, there's only 2 blanking teams, and then much more options to pick from than just what you have laid out here. So it's really difficult to really nail down those best free hit team players anyway. So team dependent is a common word, but it is very team dependent, depending on the total number of players you might have game week 12. Yeah.
And the quality of the players.
And the quality.
So somebody could have 11 players, but be paying Andreas, Neco Williams, Emerson, and Soufal. That's basically 7. So yeah, think about the big hitters who in 12 you want to capture. Most people have Madison, Zaha. I think Mitrovic, I'm reading in the chat, is back in training. That's what's no. Sahil is asking the question, not telling us. So if he is fit, then Mitrovic at home to Bournemouth will definitely be somebody who people will play. So yeah, think about the big hitters. Who are the players that you want to cover for the big points? Don't worry about if you don't have a Trossard or if you don't have a Robertson or a Chilwell. These are not players who you will want to have anyway, and who may not even get you as many points in that one single game week.
Yeah. Okay. Should we go bus teams?
Let's do it. Who's first?
I have your team up here first if you want to read it out loud, and then how many transfers and money in the bank you have.
All right. So I don't think I have much money in the bank. I have Guaita in goal, James, Cancelo, Trippier in defense. Then I have Pereira, Madison, Zaha, Salah, and Barnes in midfield. So my midfield 5 is pretty good. And then I have, so am I reading the right team? Yes, Haaland and Mitrovic in attack, and Haaland is captain. At the moment, I'm benching Trent, but now that Trent is out, I'm going to sell Trent for one of the defenders, and I might bench James instead. That's the plan. But that plan is contingent on Mitrovic being fit. If Mitrovic isn't fit, then I'll have to sell James as well, or I will have to find the money that I used to downgrade Trent. I could upgrade Greenwood to a Danny Welbeck or somebody like that, so I can have a 11th player and a good player in game week 12 as well. So that's the thinking at the moment. I think I would really, really like just to do Trent to Webster or even Ben White and leave it. That's would be my ideal scenario. But for that, Mitrovic needs to be training. James's injury needs to be really minor. And then we will evaluate with 2 free transfers between game week 11 and 12.
So essentially, if it wasn't Ben White, you'd recommend Webster as a non-Arsenal City defensive option.
I have Guehi already, so that's why.
Okay.
But if somebody wanted to save 0.2, then even Guehi is fine.
Okay. This is my team. I've got Pope in goal, Trippier, Cancelo, James, 3 at the back. In the midfield, Son, Madison, Foden, Zaha. Up top, Haaland, Mitrovic, Solanke. And then on the bench, I've got Iverson, Everson, Zuma, Andreas, and Neco Williams. So I could just end up playing Zuma and Andreas instead of James and Mitrovic if both of them are out. Walking on, I guess, fire there because it's not the best options, but I like the idea of having 2 transfers for 12. I think James is probably going to be a sell, but I have Zuma to cover him, so it's Mitrovic that I'm very worried about, and I'm not really sure what to do with him. I don't have enough money to really move up, and I don't have much options to move down to, so it's a complicated one, and I only have 1 free transfer. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to do anything, to be honest. I mean, really depends on 12. What do you want to do in 12?
I want to field 11. I just have a weird kind of thing for that.
That 11 will include this cheapo defender that you'll get for James. It'll include Neco Williams. It'll include Zuma versus Liverpool, Andreas Pereira. Yeah, maybe.
But
maybe you can.
But I don't mind taking a hit in 12 if I have 2 free transfers and getting 3 players makes sense and then helps me move forward. So we'll see. I just want to have. I just think it's the best option is to have 2 transfers for game week 12 because my team isn't too bad for this game week. But the big dilemma is Son. I'm actually very serious about captaining him, Pras. So we'll see where I get to on tomorrow. But
there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we've created so much FOMO around it. I mean, Haaland's playing Liverpool, man. I mean, fine, Liverpool look weaker, but it is a tough fixture. He's, and Son is home to Everton and White Hart Lane, Spurs are great. So I don't let what's happened to sort of people in game week 9 sort of dictate people shying away from going against the crowd, because people have won going against the crowd as well in game week 8 when they backed Kane. So yeah,
we'll see.
Think about it, but it's the risks now, having seen my example.
What were you last week? Were you maybe 200k-ish?
I don't remember. To be honest, you've shown me my rank. I hadn't even sort of looked, because at the moment, what is it? 25 points between 1 million and 100k, 35 points between 1 million and 50k, something like that. So there's not much in it. So
Yeah.
it's right now it's irrelevant. As it gets closer, and anyway, it should be relevant because your decision making shouldn't change. You shouldn't get into a mindset of I'm going to sort of force it because I've not had the best start. You're going to start captaining somebody other than Haaland just so that you can chase. Just let's make the same decision whether you're
Yeah.
rank 5 or whether you're rank 1 million at this stage. When it gets to basically last 5 game weeks, then you can sort of start taking more decisions against the EV to sort of maybe get lucky on variance and make an outcome that is not expected. But at the moment, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, fully agree with that. Okay, I think we should end it.
Yep. All right. No burning questions next week because of the midweek game. So we will be back after game week 13, at which point it will be just 3 weeks to go before the World Cup. So see you then.
Yep. Thank you guys. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.